Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Lalema Aneja Dang, and with me is Renu Kataria with the Midday News. The headlines. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.93%. Daily recoveries outnumber new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 67,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries so far. CBSE submits evaluation criteria for Class 12 results 2021 in Supreme Court today. Over 428.77 lakh metric tons of wheat procured during the current Rabi marketing season, benefiting about 48.20 lakh farmers. NIA arrests former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma in connection with the Antilla security and Mansukh Hiren murder case. The ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to be held tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton, UK. In women's cricket, England were 269 for 6 in their first innings against India at stumps on day 1 of Bristol Test. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine meet North Macedonia at Bucharest, and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. As many states are relaxing lockdown norms, we advise our listeners not to lower their guard as the COVID-19 pandemic remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. India is registering a significant decline in active caseloads and fresh cases of coronavirus. With this, the recovery rate is continuously improving in the country. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said the active caseloads presently comprise 2.78% of the cumulative positive cases, and it is continuously declining. It said the country has registered a decline of over 38,000 active cases in the last 24 hours. At present, there are over 8,26,000 active cases in the country. This is the lowest caseload after 71 days. The country is also witnessing a declining trend in the weekly and daily positivity rate. India's weekly positivity rate currently stands at 3.99%, and daily positivity rate is at 3.48%. This is the 10th consecutive day when the country has reported a daily positivity rate below 5%. India's daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 103,000 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within 24 hours. The recovery rate has reached 95.93% in the country. Over 2 crore 84 lakh patients have already recovered from this infectious disease so far. The country has registered a total of 67,208 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours. The Union Health Ministry has said a total of 2,330 deaths have been reported in the country within 24 hours, taking the toll to over 3,81,000 across the country.
India has administered over 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses to the beneficiaries so far. Health and Family Welfare Ministry said over 34 lakh 63,000 vaccine doses were administered to the beneficiaries within 24 hours. The liberalized and accelerated Phase 3 strategy of COVID-19 vaccination has already been started in the country. Vaccination is a crucial pillar in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The central government is continuously engaged in accelerating the pace of vaccination drive in the country with the cooperation of states and union territories. Gujarat recorded 298 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday. According to the State Health Department, 935 patients recovered during the last 24 hours and were discharged from the hospitals. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Total 8,03,122 patients have been recovered from COVID-19 in Gujarat till now. The recovery rate further improved and reached up to 97.78%. Maximum 47 new cases of COVID-19 reported from Surat. 5 patients lost their lives due to COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. Gujarat has now 8,242 active cases at present, out of which 209 patients are on ventilators. Meanwhile, 2,18,062 persons have been vaccinated in the state yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Madhya Pradesh has been witnessing a continuous fall in COVID-19 caseload. The active cases reduced to 3,273. The state reported 160 positive cases and 34 deaths, while 463 COVID patients recovered from infection. Here's more from our Bhopal correspondent.
COVID positivity rate further dropped to 0.2%. Single-day count of new corona cases in all districts fell below 50, while no fresh cases were reported in 25 districts. Except for 4 districts, Bhopal, Indore, Jabalpur and Ratlam, the active case number in all the districts is under 100. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi yesterday. Chief Minister apprised Prime Minister with the current situation of COVID and efforts made by the state government so far for COVID control. Chief Minister also informed the Prime Minister about the preparations being made to deal with the possible third wave of corona. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has stressed on the need for insulating the world against the next pandemic. He said, focus on sustainable lifestyles that stop ecological degradation must be ensured. Mr. Modi called upon the startup community to take the lead in working with collective spirit and a human-centric approach to overcome this challenge. The Prime Minister was delivering the keynote address yesterday at the Viva Tech, which is one of the largest digital and startup events in Europe. The Prime Minister said India is adaptable and agile even in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic.
India offers what innovators and investors need. I invite the world to invest in India based on the 5 pillars of talent, market, capital, ecosystem, and culture of openness. Indian tech talent pool is famous across the world. Indian youth have given tech solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems.
Mr. Modi said innovation can help where convention fails. He said digital technology helped people cope, connect, comfort and console during the COVID-19 pandemic.
All nations have suffered loss and felt anxiety about the future. COVID-19 put many of our conventional methods to test. However, it was innovation that came to the rescue. By innovation, I refer to innovation before the pandemic, innovation during the pandemic. When I speak about innovation before the pandemic, I refer to the pre-existing advances which help us during the pandemic.
Dr. A.K. Varshney of RML Hospital, New Delhi has said that vaccination and COVID-appropriate behavior is quite important during COVID-19 pandemic. He said this in a Corona Jagrukta program of All India Radio News last night.
एक तो जिन लोगों को वैक्सीनेशन के लिए एलिजिबल है उन्हें अपना वैक्सीनेशन तुरंत के तुरंत कराना चाहिए। ये बचाव का सबसे बड़ा साधन। दूसरे कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर है उसको जरूर अपनाना है, चाहे आपने वैक्सीनेशन कराया हुआ है या नहीं भी कराया। आप जब भी बाहर निकलते हैं एक अच्छे तरीके का मास्क पहनिए, मास्क को भी प्रॉपर तरीके से पहनिए, नाक और मुंह ढका होना चाहिए। कोशिश ये करें कि अनावश्यक रूप से किसी को ना मिलें।
Dr. Varshney also said that some steps are essential to deal with post-COVID syndrome.
अगर आपका पल्स ठीक है, ब्लड प्रेशर ठीक है, आपका ऑक्सीजन लेवल ठीक है, तो उनको आश्वस्त करते हैं कि आप चिंता मत करिए, धीरे धीरे करके आप ठीक हो जाएंगे। सिर्फ आपको 2-3 चीजें करनी है। एक तो अपने खाने पीने का ध्यान रखना है। ऐसा है कि जो इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने वाले फूड हैं, जिसमें प्रोटीन से जरूर होती है, जैसे दूध, दही, पनीर, इस तरीके की चीजें होती हैं। जो मांसाहारी व्यक्ति हैं वो अच्छा तरीके का पकाया हुआ मांसाहार भी खा सकते हैं। फिर हरी सब्जियां वगैरह वो लें, फल वगैरह लें, जिसमें कि विटामिन मिनरल्स वगैरह होते हैं। अगर वो कोई रेगुलर मेडिसिन ले रहे हैं किसी बीमारी के लिए, तो उसको और अच्छी तरीके से कंट्रोल करें, अपनी डॉक्टर की सलाह से उनकी दवाइयों को एडजस्ट करें। दूसरे जो है हल्के प्राणायाम, हल्के जो है गहरी गहरी सांस लें, गहरी गहरी सांस छोड़ें, व्यायाम करें। इसके अलावा मानसिक तनाव दूर करने के लिए हल्की हल्की जो है अपनी एक्टिविटी भी घर में शुरू।
The Mental Health Institute NIMHANS helpline 08046110007 was set up on 25th of March 2020 when the nationwide lockdown was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Since then, the institute has received over 4.48 lakh calls. The professor and head of Department of Psychological Care and Disaster Management in NIMHANS, Dr. K. Sekar, informed AIR News that 810 mental health professionals are addressing issues of distress in 12 Indian languages across the country during the pandemic.
The mental health professionals are able to provide actual information and issues pertaining to the grief due to loss of loved ones, the mass anxiety which is currently going on, or the coronaphobia, post-traumatic intrusion avoidance, obsessive compulsive phenomena of using sanitizers, and the pain attributed to COVID infection, or disturbed biological issues like sleep and appetite. The helpline provides them alternatives for adaptation to the situation and the bouncing back phenomena of resilience to be brought in.
The Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, today released the Class 12 evaluation criteria, or the final strategy through which it will assess Class 12 students in the Supreme Court. The Class 12 result will be based on the Class 10 component, 30%, based on the best 3 performing subjects in the board exams. Class 11 component, 30%, will be based on the final exam, and Class 12 component, 40%, based on unit test or midterm or pre-boards. While hearing pleas seeking directions to cancel the Class 12 exams of the CBSE and CISCE amidst the ongoing pandemic, a bench of Justices A.M. Khanwilkar and Dinesh Maheshwari was told by Attorney General K.K. Venugopal that CBSE students who are not satisfied with the evaluation formula will be given an opportunity to take up Class 12 examination when the pandemic situation becomes conducive. The Apex Court recently, while hearing a plea regarding Class 12 board exams, had instructed the board to devise the strategy within 2 weeks. CBSE had formed a 12-member committee to finalize the evaluation criteria. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, chaired by the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has approved the hike in nutrient-based subsidy rates for fertilizers, corporatization of Ordnance Factory Board, and proposal for Deep Ocean Mission. Briefing media on cabinet decisions in New Delhi yesterday, Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers Mansukh Mandavia said Cabinet has approved the proposal of the Department of Fertilizers for fixation of nutrient-based subsidy rates for phosphorus and potassium fertilizers for the year 2021-22. Terming this as a historic decision by the Modi government for the farmers, the minister said this will benefit the farmers by providing fertilizers at a reasonable price.
डीएपी फर्टिलाइजर में इंटरनेशनल प्राइस बढ़ गया तो स्वाभाविक तौर पर वहां से रॉ मटेरियल लाके इंडिया में बनाने वाली कंपनियों ने उसका प्राइस 1900 रुपीज कर दिया तो किसान को प्राइस ज्यादा हो गया क्योंकि उसकी कीमत 2400 रुपीज हो गई 500 रुपीज तो हम सब्सिडी देते ही है मोदी जी ने महत्वपूर्ण फैसला लिया कि किसानों के पर बोझ नहीं आना चाहिए किसानों को 1200 रुपीज में ही खाद मिलना चाहिए जो पहले 500 रुपीज सब्सिडी देते थे तो 1200 रुपीज सब्सिडी देने का फैसला किया
Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said that the Cabinet has approved the proposal of the Ministry of Earth Sciences on Deep Ocean Mission. He said this futuristic decision will give impetus to the blue economy by exploring deep ocean for resources and develop deep sea technologies for sustainable use of ocean resources.
आने वाले 5 सालों में ये डीप ओशन मिशन इससे जिस ब्लू इकोनॉमी की हमने कल्पना की है मत्स्य व्यवसाय से लेकर समुद्र की सारी शक्तियों का विकास के लिए दोहन करने का काम होगा 6000 मीटर नीचे जाकर पानी में वहां मिनरल्स है, उसकी स्टडी अभी तक नहीं हुई, इसलिए ये काम पहला होगा.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.93%. Daily recoveries outnumber new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 67,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries so far. CBSE submits evaluation criteria for Class 12 results 2021 in Supreme Court today. Over 428.77 lakh metric tons of wheat procured during the current Rabi marketing season, benefiting about 48.20 lakh farmers. NIA arrests former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma in connection with Entella Security and Mansukh Hiren murder case. The ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to be held tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton, UK. In women's cricket, England were 269 for 6 in their first innings against India at Stumps on day 1 of Bristol Test. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine meet North Macedonia at Bucharest and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Procurement of wheat in the current Rabi marketing season is continuing smoothly. 13% more wheat has been procured so far this year in comparison to the corresponding period last year. Over 428.77 lakh metric tons of wheat have been procured against last year's corresponding purchase of 379.68 LMT. About 48.20 lakh farmers have benefited from the wheat procurement. A total of 835.18 LMTs of paddy has been procured on MSP, benefiting 123.44 lakh farmers. 12% more paddy has been procured so far in comparison to the corresponding period last year.
The Regional Office of Food Corporation of India in Rajasthan has broken all the records of procurement of wheat at minimum support price. 22,31,000 metric tons of wheat has been procured by the corporation in the state so far, which is an all-time high procurement in history. More from our correspondent.
Despite the impact of COVID pandemic, the corporation had set a record of procurement 22,25,000 metric tons of wheat in the state last year. That record has been broken yesterday. General Manager of Corporation Sanjeev Bhaskar told that 2,15,000 farmers have benefited and digital payment of more than 3,700 crore rupees has been made so far. Mr. Bhaskar informed that there has been an increase of almost 3 times in the procurement of wheat at the minimum support price in the state in the last 6 years. He told that the procurement of wheat would continue till June 30. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
NIA arrested former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma in connection with Entella Security and Mansukh Hiren murder case. The National Investigation Agency, which is probing the Entella Security and Mansukh Hiren murder case, took former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma into custody early today. Intensive raids are on at Sharma's residence. Sharma was known as an encounter specialist in the Mumbai police, and Sachin Vaze considered him as his mentor. Pradeep Sharma has been called several times in the past by the NIA for questioning. On Wednesday, the NIA had arrested 2 other accused in the case who are in the agency's custody till June 21st.
Power Minister R.K. Singh has stressed on scaling up and deployment of low-carbon technologies. He said these technologies need to be taken up on a massive scale, especially in the micro, small and medium enterprises. Mr. Singh chaired a high-level meeting yesterday to review the progress of energy efficiency programs and the preparedness for climate change action in the country. He advised the ministries to take appropriate measures to reduce the wastage of energy. He instructed all departments to adopt electric mobility. A joint high-level team comprising senior officers both from the Union Territory of J&K and Punjab inspected various components of Shahpur Kandi Dam project in Kathua district yesterday to ensure expeditious execution of the project. The team inspected works on Ravi Canal at Basantpur, Shahpur Kandi Barrage and Hydel Channel on the Punjab side, besides visiting of take site of BP Canal from the existing Ravi Tavi Canal and the headworks of the Kashmir Canal. The officers stressed for expediting the pace of progress on all works for timely completion of the project. The project, coming up at a cost of rupees 2,715.70 crore, is of utmost importance for Jammu and Kashmir.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the Jal Shakti Department has provided new functional household tap connections to 2,15,511 households during 2020-21 under the centrally sponsored scheme Jal Jeevan Mission. Tap connections were also provided to 9,000 households during the first quarter of 2021-22. The department has also covered 92% schools and 93% Anganwadi centers under the scheme. Under Phase 1, universal tap water coverage has been achieved in Srinagar and Gandabal districts of Kashmir Division. To fast-track execution of the projects, the department has appointed Project Development and Management Consultant to supervise contract and project management, project execution and bill verification.
With 37 days to go for Tokyo Olympic Games, today we bring you a profile of India's top woman weightlifter, Saikom Mirabai Chanu.
Born on August 8, 1994 in Imphal, Manipur, Mirabai Chanu broke into the limelight by winning the 2017 Weightlifting World Championship in the 48 kg category. This came after her disappointing efficiency at the Rio Games in 2016. But she came back strongly to win not just 2017 World Championships but also the 2018 Commonwealth Games with a combined total lift of 196 kg, a national record. It was for the first time in 20 years that an Indian women weightlifter won a gold medal at the World Championship.
पूरा 12 साल की बात वेटलिफ्टिंग में कोई भी नहीं ले पाया था मेडल वर्ल्ड में. कुछ अच्छा बनना है तो सैक्रिफाइस भी करना बहुत ही जरूरी है.
In 2019, the doping ban on the participation of Chinese weightlifters was lifted. Due to this, the challenge faced by Mirabai Chanu got much stiffer. Mirabai Chanu bettered her own national record at 2019 World Weightlifting Championships by registering a lift of 201 kg to finish at 4th. At the 2020 Asian Weightlifting Championships in 2021, Mirabai Chanu came up with her career's best performance with a combined total of 205 kg.
मैं इंडिया का एक वुमेन की तरफ से मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि हम भी कुछ कर सकते हैं.
She lifted a world record weight of 119 kg in the clean and jerk category. This performance won Mirabai Chanu a bronze medal and made her a top contender at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in her weight category. For all her achievements in the 2017-18 season, Mirabai Chanu was conferred the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna and the Padma Shri.
The final of ICC Test World Cup between India and New Zealand is scheduled to be played tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton, UK. The team that wins will create history by becoming the first team to lift the World Test Championship trophy. DD Sports Channel 1 will telecast the ICC Test World Cup final tomorrow. DD Free Dish users can also listen to the live radio cricket commentary by All India Radio across the country. All India Radio cricket commentary will be available on DD Free Dish DTH satellite radio. In addition to Free Dish DTH radio channels, the radio cricket commentary will be available on All India Radio's FM Rainbow channels, FM local radio stations LRS, digital radio transmitters DRM and additional FM transmitters. CEO Prasar Bharati Shashi Shekhar Vempati in a tweet message today thanked the Union Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and the Youth Affairs and Sports Ministry along with Star Sports for enabling access of the final matches on DD Sports Channel 1 on DD Free Dish DTH.
In the women's one-off test cricket, England scored 269 runs for 6 in their first innings against India at the end of the opening day's play at County Ground, Bristol last night. England captain Heather Knight scored 95 runs while Tammy Bumore made 66. India debutant Sneh Rana bagged 3 wickets while spinner Deepti Sharma picked up 2 wickets and medium pacer Pooja Vastakar took 1 wicket. England won the toss and elected to bat first. This is the first time Indian women cricketers are playing England in a multi-format series. The two teams will also play 3 ODIs and 3 T20 internationals. In Euro Cup football tournament, in today's fixtures, Ukraine meet North Macedonia at Bucharest and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen. Italy qualified for the knockout stages after beating Switzerland 3-0 in a Group A match in Rome last night. Earlier, Wales moved closer to qualifying for the knockout stage after a 2-0 win over Turkey in their second Group A match at Baku. Russia defeated Finland by a solitary goal in the Group B encounter at St. Petersburg.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital, Delhi, will have thunderstorms with rain. The minimum temperature was 26 degrees and the maximum will go up to 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and maximum will go up to 29 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperatures will vary between 29 and 38 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius and maximum will go up to 29. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 35. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust. Temperatures will hover between 14 and 26 degrees Celsius. Leh will have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards evening or afternoon and the minimum and maximum temperatures will be between 9 and 15 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will see a generally cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The temperature will hover between 16 and 29 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 32 degrees. Dehradun will have a partly cloudy sky with the possibility of rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius and maximum should be around 33. Chandigarh will have a mainly clear sky. Temperatures will hover between 24 and 33 degrees Celsius. And Hyderabad will see a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Maximum temperature 32, minimum 23 degrees Celsius. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. National COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.93%. Daily recoveries outnumber new cases for the 35th consecutive day. Over 67,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. More than 26 crore 55 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries so far. CBSE submits evaluation criteria for Class 12 results 2021 in the Supreme Court today. Over 428.77 lakh metric tons of wheat procured during the current Rabi marketing season, benefiting about 48.20 lakh farmers. NIA arrests former Mumbai police officer Pradeep Sharma in connection with Antilla Security and Mansukh Hiren murder case. The ICC Test World Cup final between India and New Zealand to be held tomorrow at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Southampton, UK. In women's cricket, England were 269 for 6 in their first innings against India at Stumps on day 1 of Bristol Test. And in Euro 2020, Ukraine meet North Macedonia at Bucharest, and Denmark will clash with Belgium at Copenhagen today. And with that, we end the midday news.